Welcome to UPCAST webinar. Today, I will talk about the UPCAST negotiation and contract plugin for supporting and enhancing dataset negotiations. My name is Miao Hu, a research fellow from the University of Southampton. We will see how this plugin helps the automatically data sharing negotiations and contract in the data space. First of all, I will give a little bit context. UPCAST is a universal platform components for safe, fair, interoperable data exchange, monetization, and trading. This project brings 16 partners from 9 European countries. Our mission is to support the deployment of common European data space, and our goal is to do automated data sharing and processing agreement. First of all, I will introduce the plugin and why this topic matters for the small-medium enterprise. Then, I will give a plug overview and show a little video to show how to use our negotiation plugin system. After that, I will highlight the IPS behind the negotiation and contract service. Finally, we will finish with keynotes and resources from those who want to explore more. In any data sharing scenario, data providers have their usage policy and data consumers have their intended uses. These two perspectives often conflict, so we need a structured way to do negotiation and resolve these differences. The UPCAST negotiation plugin helps to streamline, manage, and document these decisions between data consumer and data provider. The contract service then helps to agree on the terms and generate the final data sharing agreement or contract. For SMEs, trust and compliance are big barriers. Machine-readable contract help encode legal and business rules so system can automatically check and enforce them. They also reduce transaction costs, less back and forth, faster onboarding of partners, and lower administrative burden when you scale cooperations. Finally, using standard ontologies and vocabularies enables interoperability, so systems from different organizations can understand and process the same contract. Now, I will introduce our plugin. This overview shows how it works. First of all, consumers send an UPCAST request. If the provider agrees and this request is verified, we will call UPCAST contract to generate a final contract. If provider doesn't agree with the initial request, they will create an UPCAST offer, and then this offer should be sent to UPCAST request, sent to consumer. On the offer side, if the consumer and the offer is verified, we again to call the UPCAST contract to generate the data sharing agreements. If either side does not accept, the follow can go into a negotiation loop with new requests or new offers. And if nothing is negotiable anymore, the process simply stopped. And now, I'd like to show you our system and to guide you how to use our negotiation plugin. Finally, let's go to our main page. First of all, to log in, go to Data Consumer. In this page, we will see existing negotiations. At this area, we can see available offers. For example, we can choose one of these. First one, we are going to create request. In this page, we can see the information is about the dataset, known as resource. For example, users can change the price. For example, we make 500. Also, you can filter out this item, validity period, which means for the data consumer, you can use the dataset for how long time, for example, 12 months. Go to second step, DPW, data processing workflow. You can define how to do data processing for the dataset. Next step, ODRL. In this page, users can define rules. For example, we can choose a target. This dataset could be for the medicine analysis. We can choose first one. And also, we can add rules. For example, obligation, the actor, we select a student. Action, this used for the analysis data. Purpose, for the academic research. Users can also add constraint, and here we are moved to the constraint. And also we move to another rules. Okay, in this page we only defined one rule, obligation. Now let's go to next step, NLP step. In this page, we can generate agreements. In another word, we can translate the ODRL rules to the natural language. Click here, agreement generation. Yeah, we can get a new agreement. Accept. Then we can send this request to data provider. Click send. Okay, now let's go to data provider side. Going down to find the latest negotiation. Here we can see the latest request from that consumer. Now we can review this request and also make changes. We can see the price is 500. Here we can change the price. For example, 100. Also, you can change other item. For example, validate period. We can change it to 6 months. Now go to DPW. Users can define the data processing workflow. Now go to ODRL. Users can add rules. For example, we are going to add a rule. prohibition, actor. We also choose student, action, delete, which means users cannot delete the dataset. Purpose. We can choose one of these. Now go to ALP step to generate the latest agreement. In this page, we can see there are 3 buttons. For example, the first one, we can check the changes. We can accept agreement changes. Also, we can reject agreement changes. If you click reject, which means the policy will go back to the previous version. Here, normally we accept agreement changes. And here, we have made changes on the data resources, for example, price and validity period. We are going to generate a new agreement. We can see we add some items. We can see in the section 3, the price is now 100. Previous version is 500. In the section 7, we can see we add a new rule, prohibition. Compared with last version, there is a new rule. Okay, going down. We accept this new latest agreement. Finally, we can send the new offer to the debt consumer. Now, we are going to debt consumer side. Okay, let's to check the last one, negotiation. Here, it was sent from a data provider. Now we can have a check, click request. We can see the price is changed with 100. It was 500. We can see the validity period is 6 months. It was 12 months. Also, we can check ODRL rules. From this page, we can see the provider add a new rule, prohibition. Also, we can go to last page to check the latest agreement. Note that if you want to make changes for the resources or ODRL rules, before you send into data provider, don't forget to generate a new agreement. And here, we select accept. Now we are going to provider side to have a check. In the provider side, we can find the latest negotiation. We can see it shows agree or terminate, which means that the consumer has accepted our offer. And here we can click agree. Go to consumer side. we can see now we can sign this agreement because they provide agreed with this negotiation. Click sign verify. We can sign a name. Also, provider can also sign the name. Save. Now, consumer can see this negotiation is finalized. The negotiation is done. And now, I'd like to introduce the IPS. Behind the user's interface, the negotiation service exports Open API. This API is used to support the community to conduct negotiation between data providers and consumers. This API includes user management, negotiation management, policy management, and contract check. You can find the APIs from this link. Also, the contract service supports open APIs to the community. Users can use our API to generate data sharing agreements. The API includes create, update, contract check, and also to download the machine-readable file. You can check our APIs from this link. Now, let me summarize our negotiation plugin and contract. The negotiation plugin provides a user-friendly interface to help non-technical users to conduct negotiation between each other and also to generate agreements. We support the complex problem of machine-based decision marketing through an API that can reliably compare offers and requests. The API is open to the community for development and integration with their products. Third, we also provide a contract API. It can be used to automatically generate data sharing agreements for the community. Finally, you can read our product overview from the first link. Also, we used the ODRL to express the rules in the agreement. You can find more details in the ODRL information module. Also, we provide the policy editor tool. You can edit your rules from our tool. We expose the negotiation API and contract API, which is used for the development or integration with their products. Thank you.